Hello everybody, and welcome to the second video which describes the usage of the eBay Orders plugin for CubeCart version 5. This video is going to be focusing on the paid for version of the plugin. So I'm going to jump right in here. I'm not going to describe in this video about how the API keys work. If you want to understand where to get your keys from and get a better idea of how to configure the plugin, then you will need to watch the first video, which I'll link shortly. Okay, so as you can see on the screen at the moment, I've got a test license key, and the license key shows it's valid, and I've retrieved my maintenance and support agreement expiration date. Full details about maintenance and support can be found on my website, which is noodleman.co.uk, and there's a whole section there dedicated to the terms of the support and maintenance agreements. So what we're going to do now is describe the new features. So the first thing you can see here is we have a buyer messages tab appear. Now, you don't get this in the free version, the tab's not there. So in buyer messages, we can actually configure what information we want to send back to our eBay customer once we've marked our CubeCart order as order complete. So the first thing we have here is our feedback message, which is the message we're going to leave in the positive feedback for the buyer. The next eBay messages to buyers is an optional thing. If you want to send a message through eBay messages to the buyer, you can configure this to yes. You can then type in the subject of the message you wish to send and also the message that you'd like to send to that person. Note here in the messages you can use variables, and what this means, for example, is let's say I want to send the person a message with the tracking code of the package that we populated in CubeCart. So what we would do here is we would just type out the message, your tracking code is, and then we would put in this variable. So when it actually comes to sending this message, this variable, the exclamation marks and shipping tracking code, would actually be swapped with the real tracking code from CubeCart. So it allows you to dynamically change your messages dependent on the person that you're sending the message to and what information is available for that particular order. So I'm going to just set this back to no for now, as I'm not really interested in messages, but it's a nice option there if you want to customize things and maybe offer a better customer service experience to your buyer. So we'll go to the product mapping table tab now, and we'll notice a couple of things have changed. First is the description here in the text is now slightly different. Just gives you a bit more usage information about the first table. We still have the update mapping database option, and we have a second table this time, which is specifically there for variation listings. So I'm going to update the mapping database. Okay, so we can actually see the first time I've updated this, it's actually automatically mapped my one-to-one relationship products from eBay to my store product. It's done this automatically. I did not have to actually go in and configure which product I wanted this to be associated with, which is something you need to constantly do in the free version. Note now we also have variations populated in our second table, and this is basically just showing that we have a variation listing on eBay which maps to product options within CubeCart. And note this is only available if you've used the eBay Sales plugin to send your eBay inventory to eBay. If you're not using that to generate your listings, unfortunately you cannot use variations in this module. The next thing to be aware of is the actual update mapping takes place automatically in this version. Once you've paid for a version, it will frequently check to see if there's any new mappings. It should do that about once every 10 minutes. It's not going to be instant, just to stop it spamming the server and dragging the performance of your application down as well. So note here though, there are only three items. They don't really seem to make much sense. I mean, we've got a metal small, but there's no metal large. We've got a plastic small, Oh, sorry, there's metal large. We've got no metal very large, and we'd have no plastic large. So let me just show you this particular product, which is the store product. Okay, let's have a look. I think it's this test product. Options. Okay, so we can see here that I only have in my options matrix 3 product codes defined for 3 of the products, and I'm only really caring about the stock levels for 3 of these variations. The rest I don't really care about. So we can only see that options in CubeCart with a product code are only supported with variations on eBay. So if there's no unique product code here, we're not going to be able to map the stock on eBay back to CubeCart. So that's kind of an important feature if you want to use that functionality. Let's go back to our plugin, product mapping. There we go. So we can see that we have only 3 of these, and it just ties up with the 3 product codes we have. Had I put a unique product code for all of the options, then we would have 6 in here. Note as well that you can't actually change the from a drop-down list as you can with the one-to-one relationship products. You can't actually change anything here. This is purely because of the way that variations work and options work within CubeCart. So it can only map to a unique product or a unique code. There's no margin of error there for it to actually be able to be mapped to a second product, especially when it's a variation. The next thing to understand is the orders itself. Now, before I started this video, there were no orders imported. When you view the orders page here, it's just automatically populated these orders now direct from eBay without me needing to push the get latest orders link within the plugin. Again, about once in every 10-minute window, the plugin's going to go and check for your latest orders. So just simply by viewing my orders list now, it's imported my latest orders from eBay. Really helpful because you don't have to keep going into the plugin and checking if you've got new orders all the time. They will just automatically appear here, assuming that obviously you have your mappings up to date and they've been refreshed before the orders are attempted to be imported. So let's have a look at a couple of these orders. Okay, so this first order is actually a variation order. So we can see that we've purchased 3 of my test products with this particular product code, and we can see what variation this was. So it's metal, large metal test product. So let's just flick over to eBay and just have a quick look at this. Okay, so here we go. So this was testing options import listing, which my test buyer has purchased. It was a metal, large, quantity 3. It was a total of £3, and delivery was £6. You can see here that's all matched up. So the next thing we'll do is, let's say, one quick thing, we still have the gateway here as eBay, so you know this order has come from eBay. So let's go into the delivery information and let's just choose some information here. Let's give it a tracking code and mark our order as complete. So when you mark an order as complete, at this point it will communicate with eBay again, only for eBay orders. It will leave feedback for your buyer. It will mark the items as dispatched. It will leave the tracking code as long as you've populated the tracking code within CubeCart. And if you've chosen to send a message to your buyer, at this point it would generate and send that message. So here you can see we have a tracking code. This is from an earlier test, so I'm going to refresh the page. Hopefully this will update with the new tracking code. There we go. So now you can see the new tracking code here, which only a moment ago we put into CubeCart. So it always keeps this up to date. And again, the paid for version works for all of your orders, not just variations and non-variations. So it's pretty much a lot more automation in the paid for version, and there's a lot more functionality which gets unlocked. So it's really trying to just remove a lot of the admin work that you'd need to do and automate as much as possible. That's pretty much all the features that we have in here right now. So have a look through, let me know if there's any questions, I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.